Hello, EMU students. This is Dr. Christine Deacons. I'm the Director of Academic Support Programs at the university. I've put this video together to provide some guidance as we transition to fully online learning. We recognize the fact that many of you probably have not had an online class to this point, so we want to give you some guidance on how to be successful in online classes, give you a brief introduction to our online learning system, Canvas, and also provide some information about how we will be administering support services until we are back meeting face-to-face. Before we move forward, I want to share some information about how to get a hold of my team. You can see our contact information here, which is emich.edu/HSC, or you can email us at hsc@emich.edu if you're having problems in your courses and you need a little help. Let's begin by taking a quick look at what your course shell might look like. If you don't know how to navigate to your course shell, what you want to do is go to your My eMich homepage. At the bottom right-hand side of that page, you'll see a little red round dot that says Canvas. Click on that and that'll take you to your Canvas dashboard. Your dashboard looks like this. You'll see all your classes will be listed here. For this, we're going to take a look at my online class, the class that I teach. I have an online course shell for that, and this is what mine looks like. So yours might not look exactly like this, but we're just going to briefly walk through how to navigate. So I've got my homepage set to my syllabus. Your instructor may or may not have yours set to your syllabus. I'm going to switch to student view here so that you can see, so it looks familiar to you. Okay, so immediately to the left, most instructors have their courses set up in modules. So when you click on modules, what you want to do is navigate down. Most of your instructors will have them, the course content divided by topic or by date. As you can see for my class here, mine is, I have all the subjects set up and then I have them sorted by due date. So if we navigate down to where my class is, here's where we're getting ready for our next exam. So typically what you would do in most classes is you would click on your, get into your module. For mine, I have a little written work here, and then I have YouTube videos that I have students watch, and then we usually have some sort of written assignment or an online discussion of some sort. At the bottom of this page, which, let me adjust this down, you'll see the next button. That takes us to the next page in our module. And so this is where students will actually submit an assignment. To submit an assignment, you're actually going to hit submit. You'll upload your file if you have if it's a written assignment. You'll upload your file and click submit assignment. Other things to look for in your course shell. You're going to see announcements here. Any current announcements will be posted in order that they've been sent out. And then you'll see, if you want to look up your grades, you can see your grades. All of your instructors may not post your grades, but this is just a test student, so you can see this test student isn't doing real well in the class. But in any event, you can see how you can find your grades here. You also will look up people here, and this is how you find the other people in your class. So you'll be able to click on their names, which are highlighted in blue, and email them, reach out to them. So that's really how you navigate the course shell. Over here, you'll see your upcoming assignments. So anytime you see to do, you're going to click on it. You'll see how many points it's worth and when it's due. So it's really important to pay attention to those. That's what's going to keep you on track. In your course, you might find that some of your instructors have set up online discussions. I'm looking for an example of one that I can share with you real quick. Here we go. So this is an actual discussion that I've set up. You'll see it gives instructions here. I've actually set this up so that my class is divided into groups. So when they do their discussions, they will be in a group with just 3 other students from the class. Basically, you will type up your response, whatever your post is, whatever the assignment is, you'll type up your response and then post your reply. And then what happens is other students are going to respond to your post, and you'll have sort of a threaded discussion this way. It's not going to be real time. It's sometimes harder to be engaging this way, but it's really important that when you engage in an online discussion of this nature, that you be very, very thorough. So the things that you want to make sure you do is don't give very short sentence responses unless your instructor has told you to do so. You want to make sure that you're thorough with your responses and thoughtful, that you go into detail and provide, examples, elaborate, those sorts of things. We're looking, as an instructor, I'm looking for you to convince me that you understand the material and that you have a thorough grasp on what this is really about. Hit the next button here. If your instructor has had time, he or she may have set up the syllabus online. This, I actually have, these are links to my actual paper syllabus, well, not paper, PDF syllabus. And then this is all of the assignments that we have due during the semester. In my class, we do a lot of mini assignments, so they're not worth a lot of points, but I have frequent assignments so that I can give frequent feedback to my students as they're learning this new information. So we don't want to stress you out, but we want to make sure you understand that the key to being successful in online classes is to avoid procrastination. That's probably the biggest reason that students fail in online classes. They just don't spend the time that they need to in there, and they put it off until the last minute. And online classes is really not something that you can do last minute. So as learning experts, we really know that one of the biggest things you're going to have to overcome is procrastination. And the key to that is being able to identify what are your procrastination triggers. Do you get distracted easily? Are you afraid of failure? Are you a perfectionist? Are you easily overwhelmed? Once you've kind of looked at those and figured out what your trigger is, then we can start to address the trigger. So for example, if you're distracted, if that's what gets you into the procrastination loop, you can control the things in your environment that cause that distraction. So you should definitely silence your phone, but that's probably not enough just to turn off notifications. Look for phone settings that promote digital well-being, or apps that will let you turn off certain apps during your designated study times. Find a space that's conducive to concentration and studying. If it's too quiet, use like quiet instrumental music or nature sounds. Sometimes I'll listen to classical music. That helps me focus better. Anxiety can make it really hard to get started and to stay on a task and to stay on that task, especially if you don't feel up to the challenge ahead of you. So if it's a written assignment, remember that we have first drafts for a reason. No one ever produced their best work on a first pass. If it's your math homework, you won't have any idea how much of the material you really know until you start trying to work on your problems on your own. So remember that you can and should always do the work outside of Canvas for the beginning stages. Do the problems with pencil and paper first, or with pen and paper first. Start drafting your discussion responses in Google Docs. It's always easier to revise and polish, error-free from start to finish. It's just not a reasonable goal. As instructors and professors, we don't do just one draft and put something through. Revision is an ongoing process that we're constantly working at. Time and task management. If you're feeling overwhelmed and that overwhelm is pushing the procrastination button, mastering time and task management is your best friend. Whether you use Google Calendar or a physical planner, gather all your course syllabi and map out the rest of the semester's due dates and exam dates. That's going to be really important with all of this upheaval that we're going through at this point. Next, take larger assignments, your papers and projects, and break them into smaller parts like researching, drafting, revising, and polishing. Set mini deadlines for yourself in your planner or in your calendar, and note when you should be meeting certain milestones. Even though most online work can take place at any time during the day or week, you'll still be expected to stay on schedule. So set a specific time each day to check in for updates and announcements, and make sure you're working on the class several times each week. I tell my students, you should check in every day, even if it's just for 30 minutes. Spend 30 minutes a day in your course shell or working on your coursework. That is the best way to be successful in an online learning environment. If you treat your blocked out time like a job, you'll be more likely to stay on target. We also want to talk about improving your planning. If you're still finding it hard to get started, find an accountability buddy. Friends can motivate each other to get stuff done. If you haven't made friends in your class, you know how I showed you a few minutes ago in Canvas where you can click on people and see who is in your class? Do that. Find somebody in your class who is willing to be your accountability partner. If you don't have someone in class, maybe find another friend on campus. If you don't have another friend on campus that you feel comfortable reaching out to, we have success coaches and peer academic coaches on staff who are willing to be that accountability person for you. So make yourself a to-do list each day for the tasks that you need to complete. Prioritize those tasks according to your due dates and your exam dates, and make sure you check off the stuff as you get it done. That feeling of accomplishment is really helpful. Next, I want to talk about mastering material. Most online classes don't have real lecture like what you're accustomed to, so doing the reading becomes even more important. Make sure you're following along with the schedule in your syllabus, reading the assigned chapters and other readings, and save reviewing your professor's slides until after you've gained background knowledge on the material through your reading. We know the way the brain works, the learning process, you're much better off if you do that reading and do your videos and whatnot before you look at your instructor's PowerPoints or whatever they're going to be posting for lecture. Taking reflective notes on questions you have and on the connections you're making while reading will help make the information stick with you. And when we talk about reflective notes, what I'm talking about is making connections. It's really important to think about what you're reading and make connections to things that you already know, things that you're not so sure about, things that maybe you've already discussed in class. It's being thoughtful about what you do while you're reading. If you've ever read through a whole entire chapter and then not had any idea what you just read, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Reflective notes will help. It helps you stay focused, and it helps you actively learn. Don't wait until the actual quiz or exam to find out how much you really know, remember, and understand. Testing yourself at regular intervals will show you where you need to focus your studying. So great notes become a great study tool. Keep a running list of terms and concepts you didn't already know, and test yourself on the full list regularly. It's a mistake to pull out the flashcards that you think you have down. So terms that you think you've mastered, don't put those aside. Keep them in your rotation so that you're reviewing them. You can also review past quizzes and tests you've already taken. These will not only give you an idea of how your professor structures tests, but also how deep your knowledge and understanding needs to be. Now create your own mock quizzes from the material you're learning each week. Remember to make your questions how and why type questions to ensure that you're actually achieving deep learning and not just surface level facts. We want to get beyond just memorization. Lastly, make sure you ask questions. Your instructors are still there for you. So if you have questions, reach out to him or her. Ask immediately. Asking isn't just okay, it's actually expected of you. If you need to get help immediately if you're having trouble using Canvas, if you can't find your assignment lectures or discussion posts, or you don't know how your instructor wants you to submit your work. Falling behind in any class makes being successful really tough, and that's especially true in classes that are online. So take advantage of the resources at your fingertips and really make sure that you're reaching out as soon as you need help. We're sure that these strategies will help you to be successful in your online classes. You're not alone. Holman Success Center's tutors, SIs, peer academic coaches, and success coaches are here to help. So if you need assistance, like I said, please reach out to your instructor first, and then if you need additional assistance, reach out to us. We're here to help. Good luck, and we're in this together.